Welcome to another FormationData beta test demo. Today we're going to be looking at the systems and which modules may be useful for B2B service providers. That's things like telecoms and broadband, utilities, payment providers and finance companies, website and email companies, web design, things along those lines. Now, we have a mixture of lead generation and prospecting tools. Lead generation will generate results that have a budget, contact details, and a description of the works required. So that's people actively looking for your service. And the prospecting tools are people generating lists and contact information of companies that may require your service at some stage, but aren't maybe actively looking for your service right now. So we will start off with one of our prospecting tools, Formation Companies. If we simply click search and don't set any of the filters, all it will do is generate a list of companies that have launched in the UK in the last 24 hours. So as we can see, there are 3,977 companies that have launched in the UK in the last 24 hours. Now what we could do is start to use some filters to drill down into your target market. I mean, it may be that your product or service is useful for any newly launched company, but there are things that we could do to drill these down. So the first one here is location. So let's select London. And we had 3,977. And now that's drilled it down to 1,163 companies. We can then select an industry. Now, if you know the SIC code, you can type in the SIC code. If not, simply search a keyword and select the SIC code that is the closest match to the business that you want to generate. So let's select accountants. Search that. And that 1,100 has reduced down to 11 results. That's 11 accountancy firms that have launched in the last 24 hours in London. Now, the last filter we have here is quick dates. Let's take that back 7 days. So now we have 23 targeted results. For instance, say your product and services was geared up to be useful to accountancy practices. Well, you're contacting them after they've just launched. So it's likely that whatever your product or services is, they may not have that implemented yet. So these are very, very, very good prospects to target. Now, once we've got our list of results, we can either export them to a CSV, import them into whatever CRM system you're using. We do have a very basic CRM in the system that we are expanding on, so you could just save the results to CRM there. But here we go. We have the name of the company. We have pulled information from Companies House, so you know their account's good, confirmation statement's good. They've only just launched, so there's not a lot of history there. But you will see the director's information down there, and you will see some social media icons next to it. You can choose not to use the default search or the enhanced search. So the default search just pulls in a name and cross-references that. Enhanced search takes more information about the director that we've been able to pull and cross-references that with social media as well. So with enhanced search activated, I'm going to select the LinkedIn profile. And as you can see, we've found the director of this accountancy firm that's launched within the last week. We could follow them. We could choose to connect with them and send them a message. We have details there. We can congratulate them. Congratulations on launching FC Accounting Limited. We are a telecoms provider, broadband provider. We do utilities setup and switching. We do payment processing solution or invoice finance, or we do web design, email. We can host your website. There's all manner of things that you can offer these newly launched companies. And as mentioned, it's likely that if you're contacting them on the same day that they launch, it's very likely that they haven't got all of their services set up yet. So very, very good prospecting tool for B2B services. The next one we'll take a look at is, let's look at a lead gen one, formation contracts. So this pulls in data from schools, hospitals, government bodies. There's lots of places, and we're adding more and more every month. Again, very, very basic keyword-based system. So if we type in website, you can look at open and awarded contracts. If you want to have a look at awarded contracts and contracts that have actually gone to companies, you may be able to contact them as a subcontractor and say, hey, I see that you've just won this £300,000 platform development for a specific company. We specialise in usability testing. Can you sub that out to us? Or we specialise in graphic design. Can you sub all of the graphic design work out to us? So again, awarded contracts, there are good reasons for having that in place. But if you're looking for sort of primary award contracts to be awarded to yourself, then you're going to be wanting to look at open contracts. So here we go, £40,000 website redesign, invitation to tender for design and development of a new website. If you click on there, you should get a budget, you should get a description, you should get who is looking for that and the area that the contract will take place in. Obviously, if it's web design or something, it can be remote. You'll get a telephone number. We haven't got a name for the person on this one, but we have got their email address and telephone number, and it's a description of the work. We've also got some documentation that I'm sure will make sense to a web developer, but likely would not make sense to me. Let's look at another one. So again, another website development. Okay, just tender team for a name this time, but we've also got an email address, telephone number, and a description of the works needing to be carried out. So that's formation contract. It's just a very, very basic keyword tool that searches for current jobs and tenders out there listed by, as mentioned, schools, hospitals, now even private companies. We've got lots more coming on board quite literally every week at the moment. But that's formation contracts. Now, if we head back over to the dashboard, we'll take a look at formation businesses. This is another prospecting tool. This is more for established companies. So again, sticking with accountants, we can type in a postcode. We'll set our radius to 10 miles. Now, you've got two options here. You've got default and you've got advanced search. I'll show you the difference between the two. So the default search is going to bring back a website if they have one, a telephone number if they have one, the name and address of the business. So again, if you was to download these into CSV file and you was doing targeted leaflet drops or anything like that, it would be very, very useful for just quite literally name, address, telephone number. If you was running a telesales campaign, it would be fantastic for pulling these telephone numbers. If you was doing contact form marketing and contacting them via their website, again, basic default search would be absolutely fine. If we repeat that search with a advanced search, advanced or enhanced search, we're going to type in postcode. Did I use? I think it was NN39AG. Same 10-mile radius, but now we're going to use advanced search. Now, it will pull back the same information as the default search, so company name, telephone number, address, website if they have one, but it will also now go and scan their website for things like email address, social media, so if they have a Facebook, a Twitter page, if they have Instagram page, it will try and pull all of that information in. We are going one step further. We are building in things like pulling back WhatsApps and other ways you'll be able to download it in a CSV file and do mass marketing. But as you can see, we've got a Facebook page for KDM accounting. We've got a Twitter page. We've got a LinkedIn page. We've now got an email address for them. So it's pulling back more information. And again, like the other one, you can just scroll to the bottom and click load more. But that's what we have for the enhanced search. Again, absolutely great if you prefer to contact them via their social media sites, but very, very good way to target established business in any location, in any industry, and coming down to the location, you can set the radius to, I believe, 5, 10, 20 miles. So really, for service providers, I would say formation companies, formation businesses, and formation contracts are the three modules that are going to land you the most clients. We have Formation Recommend. I'll be totally upfront. That's more recommended to trades, electricians, plumbers, things like that. That's we'll find people looking for those trades on social media sites like Facebook. Formation AI. If you use ChatGPT or any other AI platform, it's just a shortcut tool for content. You can ask it to write introduction emails to offer payment processing services to accountants. You can ask it to generate introductory letters to newly launched businesses. You can ask it to write short Facebook introductions to newly launched businesses to offer web design services. It's just a very, very good shortcut tool. So you could say, please create a letter targeted to newly launched accountants, offering them payment, or let's go with website hosting and email services. Again, just a basic AI platform that is a shortcut to content generation. Now, it is very, very important to note that it is just AI. It's going to guess a few things about what you can offer and services that you can provide. So always read it before you send it, because sometimes AI comes up with some quirky things. So there we go. It's generated the introduction there. You'd be able to use that as a template, read over it first, and post it out to newly launched businesses. Best way, though, is initial contact via social media. Certainly from the feedback that we've got with service providers that we're already working with, contacting a company on the same day that they launch, certainly for payment processing and broadband telecoms, and certainly specifically mobile phone business lines, has worked exceptionally well. And we've also had some feedback that the locality is important as well. So, for instance, if you was based in Derby, Northampton, or Carlisle, there was an even higher conversion rate from providers in Derby selling to businesses within Derby, the same as Carlisle, etc. So the locality seemed to be important as well. That affected conversion rates, but overall conversion rates are very, very good. We had feedback from one company that when they calculated the time spent on this platform versus pay-per-click advertising on search engines, this was around about 8 times better for cost of acquisition. So we was very, very pleased to hear that. But yeah, these are the prospecting and lead generation tools that we'd recommend to B2B service providers such as telecoms, broadband, utilities, payment providers, finance companies, website and email providers.